Most people wake up in the morning waiting for a spark. They think they need to feel inspired, to feel motivated, to feel this magical rush of energy that will push them out of bed and into greatness. But here's the inconvenient truth: motivation is unreliable as hell. It's like that flaky friend who promises they'll show up to your party, makes a big deal about it on Instagram, and then ghosts you the second something better comes along. Depending on motivation to carry you through life is a losing game, because it was never designed to be consistent. It was designed to be a temporary state, and if you live your life based on temporary states, you'll never build anything permanent. Think about it. Motivation is like the high you get after drinking 3 cups of coffee. You feel like you can conquer the world, write a novel, run a marathon, finally clean your disgusting bathroom. And for a few hours, maybe you do a couple of those things, but then you crash, you burn out, and suddenly Netflix seems more important than your goals. The people who accomplish the most in life don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems, habits, and a willingness to do boring, repetitive shit when they don't feel like it. That's the real superpower, showing up when you least want to. We romanticize motivation because it feels good. We love the idea of waking up one day, being struck by lightning, and suddenly feeling ready to take over the world. That's why motivational videos get millions of views. That's why people pay thousands of dollars to sit in a seminar hall while someone screams cliches into a microphone. Because motivation feels intoxicating, but like all intoxicating things, it wears off. If you build your life on motivation, you're basically building a house on quicksand. It looks fine for a while, but eventually it sinks. The problem is we confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is emotional, discipline is structural. Motivation is, I feel like doing this. Discipline is, I'll do it whether I feel like it or not. And that distinction is everything. Let's say you want to get in shape. Motivation says, I'm going to run 5 miles today because I'm inspired by The Rock's workout video. Discipline says, I'm going to run 1 mile every day, even if it rains, even if I'm tired, even if I hate myself while doing it. Which approach do you think leads to actual results? Not the one that depends on The Rock yelling at you through a screen. And that's the thing, real progress in life is built on routines so boring, so mundane, so repetitive, that no motivational video would ever dare highlight them. You'll never see a YouTube short with dramatic music showing someone sitting at their desk for the 50th day in a row, staring at a blank page, writing one shitty paragraph at a time. You'll never see an Instagram reel glorifying the guy quietly turning down dessert every night for 6 months to lose 20 pounds. Motivation loves the highlight reel. Discipline lives in the blooper reel. But let's dig deeper. Why do we overvalue motivation? Because it gives us an excuse. If you tell yourself you need to be motivated before taking action, then you have a built-in reason to procrastinate. Oh, I'll go to the gym when I feel motivated. I'll start my business when I'm inspired. I'll finally have that hard conversation when I feel ready. Spoiler alert, you're never going to feel ready. Motivation is a trap dressed up as progress. It makes you feel like you're on the path, when really, you're just sitting on the sidelines waiting for some magical green light that's never coming. The truth is, action doesn't come from motivation. Motivation comes from action. Think about it. How many times have you dreaded going for a run, dragged yourself outside anyway, and then 10 minutes in you actually feel good, maybe even proud? The motivation came after the action, not before. You don't wait to feel motivated to take action. You take action, and the motivation shows up as a byproduct. That's why people who succeed seem unstoppable. It's not because they're riding a constant wave of inspiration. It's because they've trained themselves to act first, feel second. Most of us have this backward. We think we need to feel before we can do, but feelings are unreliable. They're influenced by what you ate for breakfast, how much sleep you got, whether your boss looked at you funny, whether your partner remembered to say good morning. If your entire life strategy depends on how you feel, you're screwed. You'll be tossed around like a plastic bag in the wind, going whichever direction your emotions decide to blow that day. That's why motivation is overrated. It's too fragile, too dependent on things you can't control. So what's the alternative? Systems, habits, routines, boring, unsexy stuff. Waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, setting a schedule for your work and sticking to it, building an environment that makes it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. It doesn't sound glamorous, but it's the only thing that works. Want to read more books? Leave one on your nightstand, and instead of scrolling your phone before bed. Want to save more money? Automate your savings so it happens without you thinking. Want to get in shape? Commit to a workout plan with a friend so you can't back out. Discipline is not about heroics, it's about removing decisions so you don't have to fight yourself every damn day. Here's the kicker, once you stop relying on motivation, life actually gets easier. Not harder, easier, because you're no longer negotiating with yourself every day. You're no longer stuck in the loop of do I feel like doing this? You just do it, because that's who you are now. And when you stack enough of those boring, consistent actions on top of each other, that's when transformation happens. Not overnight, not in a dramatic burst of motivation, but slowly, quietly over time. Motivation is like fireworks. Discipline is like gravity. Fireworks are flashy, exciting, and gone in seconds. Gravity is constant, reliable, always there whether you notice it or not. And which one actually keeps the universe together? Not the fireworks. So if you're sitting around waiting for motivation, stop. It's not coming to save you. You're not going to wake up one day with a magical dose of inspiration that carries you through the rest of your life. The only way forward is to act without it. To drag yourself through the mud, to show up when you're tired, to push through the boredom, to keep going when no one's watching. That's where growth happens. That's where meaning is built. That's where real change lives. And look, I get it. That sounds harsh. We all want to believe there's some shortcut, some secret hack, some motivational quote that will flip the switch and make life easier. But if you've been alive for more than 5 minutes, you already know that's bullshit. The only way to make life easier is to do the hard things consistently. And the only way to do hard things consistently is to stop giving a damn about whether you feel motivated. Motivation is overrated. Stop chasing it. Build discipline instead, because in the end, motivation might get you started, but discipline is the only thing that will keep you going. Motivation sells because it's sexy. It gives you goosebumps. It makes you want to scream hell yes and sprint out the door. But the problem with hell yes energy is that it fizzles out the moment life kicks you in the teeth. And life will kick you in the teeth every single time. You'll have bad days, you'll get rejected, you'll fail miserably, and that motivational high will vanish quicker than your New Year's resolutions. What's left then? If you don't have structure, if you don't have habits, if you don't have the grit to do the work, even when you'd rather crawl back into bed, you're done. You'll be chasing that high over and over again like an addict, but never actually building anything worthwhile. Motivation is basically emotional sugar. It's sweet, it gives you a rush, it spikes your energy, but eat enough of it and you crash, you get sluggish, you rot from the inside out. Discipline, on the other hand, is like eating vegetables. It's not exciting, it doesn't make for flashy Instagram posts, but it keeps you strong, it sustains you, it builds you up over years. And people don't want to hear that because it's boring as hell. Nobody wants to be told to eat their broccoli. They want ice cream, they want sugar, they want motivation. But if you want to actually get somewhere in life, you better learn to love the damn broccoli. The world doesn't reward you for how motivated you felt. Nobody's going to clap for you because you woke up inspired one morning. The world rewards outcomes. It rewards persistence. It rewards the person who puts in the reps when no one cares. Nobody cares how many times you thought about writing a book. They care if you actually wrote it. Nobody cares if you felt motivated to go to the gym. They care whether you showed up day after day until the results are visible. Motivation is internal fluff. Discipline is external proof. The dangerous thing about chasing motivation is that it trains you to value the wrong things. You start looking for emotional highs instead of meaningful progress. You judge yourself not by what you did, but by how you felt while doing it. And that's a terrible metric because some of your best work in life will feel awful in the moment. Training for a marathon, awful. Studying for an exam, awful. Building a business, awful, stressful, terrifying. But those awful moments stack up into meaningful outcomes. If you expect them to feel motivational, you'll quit before you ever get to see the payoff. The irony is that people who are obsessed with motivation are often the ones who burn out fastest. They think they can sprint through life, fueled by passion and inspiration alone, but life is a marathon. You need endurance, not adrenaline, and endurance is built by slow, steady, unsexy work. The kind of work that doesn't care how you feel today. The kind of work that happens when nobody's watching, when nobody's cheering you on, when nobody gives a damn. And that's the harsh but liberating truth. Nobody cares how you feel. Nobody cares if you're motivated. The only person who has to care is you. And if you can learn to stop waiting for motivation, to stop needing it, you free yourself. You stop being a hostage to your emotions and start being in control of your actions. And once you control your actions, the results eventually take care of themselves. Stop waiting for the spark. Stop waiting for the mood to strike. Stop waiting for some magical YouTube video to flip the switch inside you. That's not how real life works. Motivation is a visitor. It comes and goes whenever it feels like it. Discipline is a roommate. You live with it every damn day whether you like it or not. If you want to change your body, your career, your relationships, your entire damn life, then stop chasing the fireworks and start building the gravity. Show up when it's boring. Show up when it sucks. Show up when no one's clapping, because the people who win in life aren't the most motivated. They are the ones who figured out how to keep moving without it. That's the game, and if you can master that, you don't just get results, you become unstoppable.